Thank you, Laura. Okay, so once we bring the energy in, it becomes a little disorienting. Our change curve sweeps upward after it's been introduced. It sends us up that first hurdle into a new heightened state of awareness, a heightened state of energy, as we've been calling it. Now, standing on this new peak, we realize for the first time it could be a long way down from here. Our next presentation, Obstacles versus Accomplishments, Diann Cohen will help us define those challenges that now suddenly stand in our way. Diann is the AVP of Client Relations at MacroPro. She is the founder of the Association of Workers' Compensation Professionals and is a past recipient of the Integrity in Workers' Compensation Award, the Standard of Excellence Awards. Diann has been honored by the city of Sacramento for her charity work that she and her husband have done in their community. Although proud of her many accomplishments, she tells me her life's work is raising a United States Marine alongside her husband of 33 years. Here now, Diann Cohen.
Thank you. So about 10 years ago, my sisters and I embarked on our annual Sissies Weekend. This time it landed us in Las Vegas. So we rented a convertible, we cranked up the music, we sang from the top of our lungs as we waved our hands in the air. How lucky were we that our favorite song from the Supremes was on the radio? Paying no attention to the fact that none of us could sing, we just kept singing out loud. The poor cars around us, they just had to suffer. We were truly lost in the moment until we saw the sign, the silver and gold pawn shop sign. You know the one from the TV show? Well, like deers in headlights, we had to stop. There were so many fascinating things in that store, and this is what Sissies Weekends were made of. Now, one of us spotted what looked to be like a dollar bill. In the middle of it was a picture of someone, and on one side was a list of what seemed to be insurmountable obstacles, and on the other side, an unexpected list of accomplishments. Reading this, the gravity of this person's life was rather sobering. We didn't know why it struck home to us, but let's examine this dollar bill. This person, for example, had meningitis as a child. They came from a broken home. They had a learning disability that was an audio-visual disconnect that made them feel stupid their entire childhood. Their mother was an alcoholic, and their father, he lived abroad. When they were 21 years old, their best friend had been murdered. Their house had been hit by random gunfire, and they were sexually assaulted twice, once by an employer and once by somebody that they had done business with. Unable to have children the traditional way, they brought home 2 babies to adopt. Unfortunately, the attorney called and said, "Sorry, you have to return the babies." Finally, a successful adoption. Later, this child, however, would be diagnosed with depression, become an alcoholic, and a drug abuser, putting this family on what seemed to be a never-ending roller coaster ride. Now let's look at their accomplishments. This person became student body president of their high school and a member of the speech and debate team. This, I imagine, had to be quite a moment of success and pride for them, given that they always felt stupid, right? Although they were married at a very early age, divorce was never discussed because they married the right person, and there was so much love in that family. They raised a United States Marine together. This person had a successful career. They were the catalyst of starting new organizations. They served on board of directors. They were invited by the state to help with regulatory changes in their industry. And get this, they were promoted to education director of training in their company. Together with their spouse, they raised over $1 million for charity. And lastly, they served over 25,000 working poor, vets, elderly on Thanksgiving Day by serving them a hot meal over the last 23 years. So by now, some of you have figured out that is my dollar bill. I often wonder why I am not bitter nor destroyed. And I just want to share with you why I think that is, in hopes that it will help somebody else. See, my glass is always half full. It's never half empty because I choose to see it that way. For those people who have caused me great pain, I choose to give them compassion. My mother, for example, she was the alcoholic. She loved her children with every fiber of her being. And she did the best that she could. But her life was very hard. And I could not walk 10 minutes in her shoes. Even after a painful adoption, becoming a mother was really important to me. And you heard how we had to jump through hoops to get a child. And when they laid my son, that perfect child, in my arms, they did not know to tell me that he would suffer from depression, become an alcoholic and drug addict. These are not the things that they tell you, but these are the things that can destroy a family. So it is important that we realize that when we are unable to do something, when we're weak, that we're lucky enough to have somebody in our life that is strong, and that was my husband. As for the other things that happen in life, I understand that crap happens, but these are the things that we have to put away in our short-term memory boxes, because otherwise they're going to destroy us. And lastly, I'd like to conclude with this. It is not weak to ask for or receive help. This is what we do every single day in the workers' comp system to help our injured workers. We must make sure we do whatever we can to make sure that we propel forward, so that we make sure that our obstacles never keep us from our accomplishments and our ability to help others. Thank you.